Good morning, dear hearts. We are in lesson 70, and please subscribe. Today's lesson is My Salvation Comes from Me. And for the next several lessons, we will be dealing with this idea of salvation because salvation is a central point in and concept within A Course in Miracles. But if the word salvation does not sit gently upon your heart and mind, then know that in this case we can substitute the word happiness or freedom, because my happiness comes from me, as does my freedom. So this lesson is telling us that the temptation to not believe this idea, to believe this statement, is the idea, the temptation to place our happiness and our freedom, our salvation, somewhere, anywhere, but where it really is. And a few of my favorite lines in the Course happen to be in this lesson, because in the second paragraph it's saying that, the cost of accepting today's lesson is that it means that nothing outside yourself can save you, nothing outside yourself can give you peace, but it also means that nothing outside yourself can hurt you or disturb your peace or upset you in any way. So this really, to me, is a lesson in empowerment, because I can claim my happiness. I know how to get to my happiness because the remedy for it has been given me when I accept that it does indeed come from me. God has given this to us. But this lesson also tells us, like in so many aspects of the Course, it's not able to be partially accepted. It's a full-time job, and I've mentioned that in other times. This requires us to commit to it, to be vigilant for it, because we truly want it. And if we truly want it, we will not accept it only partially. We will accept it completely and fully. This lesson is, it's another one that I do suggest reading, because this particular section that we're in, these lessons are so beautiful and so much great learning is being given to us. And even though God has placed the remedy for us to heal our sickness where it can be found and it can help, we have often turned away from it. And it says we have tried to do just the opposite. We've every attempt, however distorted and fantastic it might be, to separate. This is what we have tried to do, to separate healing from sickness for which it was intended, and thus keep the sickness. Because if we turn away from the remedy, we must be choosing and electing to keep the sickness. Your purpose, our purpose, was to ensure that healing did not occur, and God's purpose was to ensure that it did. And this is, again, another one of the lessons that we are told time and time again. God wants us to be happy. God wants us to be healed. It is His great desire. It is His will that we accomplish this. And again, whatever God wills ultimately will occur. This lesson also uses, again, the metaphor of the clouds and going through it in order to get to the light. And just as in our meditation yesterday, when we led and going through these clouds to push away these wisps, these vapors, they're of no great substance or consequence, truthfully. And this lesson says that try to pass the clouds by whatever means appeals to you, if it helps. If it helps you, think of me holding your hand and leading you. And I assure you, this will be no idle fantasy. Because as I said yesterday, we have mighty companions leading us, getting us to this point of being able to see the light. That's where our healing is, as we clear the clouds and we re-enter into the light that is always there and we have always been part of, because that is where our salvation comes, our happiness, our freedom. It comes from us being able, committed to go through the clouds, come home to the light. That's where we're meant to be. Practicing has increased to at least 2 15-minute sections, practice periods, and And so you can read the lesson for anything else. Obviously, always say this as often as possible through the day. The more repetitions, the more we are ingraining this within our mind. My salvation comes from me. Nothing outside of me can hold me back. Within me is the world's salvation and my own. And that's where we close today's lesson. Please like, please share, please subscribe, please comment. Please be here tomorrow for more happiness. Namaste.